Ciao, homie. What's up, YouTube? Or for my Armenian-speaking friends, Tube. Thanks again for joining me on my blog, Strongest Man. And tonight I wanted to talk about the Shaw Classic. So he's discussed all of the events finally that he's going to be having this December in the Shaw Classic. And I shouldn't say finally because he's really like moving and shaking here. It's only been a couple of weeks since he's announced this event for all of his fellow strongmen to come and compete in the absence of other events this year. And already he has the invite list, the event list, and he has the referees lined up as well. So definitely go over to Brian's channel, Shaw Strength, and check out what he's divulged today. As far as the events, I wanted to tell you what they are and kind of give you my opinion on what I think he's chosen. And spoiler alert, I think it's great. Like, everything he chose was the perfect choice. So he has a farmer's carry, which is a medley of 3 different implements to be determined and weights to be determined, back and forth 3 laps. So he says the distance isn't long enough to accept having one straight run, either with that or some of the other events. So it's going to be back and forth 3 times with 3 separate implements, which, to be fair, is like how I've seen it done in the past anyway, even at World's Strongest Man events. So, which, to be fair, is how I've seen it done in World's Strongest Man events as well. So, you know, nothing different there. There's going to be a yoke, so pretty heavy. I think he said approaching 1,100 pounds maximum is where he wants to have it. So that's to your farmer's medley, your yoke event. I was really hoping for a log lift and a deadlift, and he brought them both. He's doing a max log lift. He's having a log custom fabricated for this event, so it should be a real beautiful looking implement for the big guys to lift. And he's also doing a deadlift, but kind of like the throwback, not traditional deadlift, but lifting the Hummer tires. So 4 Hummer tires on each side for a total of 8, and I think they're going to find a way to build up weights as they go along. So it won't be a single lift, it'll be a building up until, you know, some competitors can't continue at that weight to see who wins the event. So we have yoke, we have farmer's carry, we have deadlift, we have max log press. He's finishing off with Atlas stones, which is what we've all come to know and love, but he said he's not going to do what we've seen recently, which is 5 Atlas stones. He wants to go in the 6 to 8 range. So kind of separating out those who really can do Atlas stones well from those who you know, are maybe a little bit below that. So he wants to make the number of stones and the weight of the stones, which I think he said would be in the 200 to 210 kilogram range on the heaviest stone. You know, he wanted to do a number of stones and weight that would separate guys out and wouldn't have, you know, too many people too close to each other. So how many is that? 5 stones, farmer carry, log press, Hummer wheel deadlift, Atlas stones, and yoke, 6. So those are your 6 events for the Shaw Classic coming up in December. I, for one, am really excited. Like, what else could you think of that he's missing? Like, what have I seen in World's Strongest Man events in the past? A Hercules hold, fingal fingers, which would be, you know, maybe a little iffy to structurally set up. Just the logistics of it might be difficult. A Hercules hold could be interesting, but I think that the events he picked are better tests of strength, of raw strength than that event. I've seen the shield carry, for example, which I think Nick Best does or did have the world record in at one point. So that's interesting too. But Atlas stones is similar to that, just not at as far of a distance. So if you take kind of an Atlas stone combined with the farmer's carry, you get, I think, the feel of a shield carry anyway, just rounder implement instead of a flat one. So again, I can't really think of anything Biggie missed, and I think that the mix of events that he's put together is really going to be a great test of strength for the guys that are invited. So again, guys like Big Z, Zydrunas Savickas, Kieliszkowski is going, Robert Oberst is going, Rob Kearney, Jerry Pritchett, Jeff Caron. So it's like a who's who of everybody we would want to see in all of the events we would want to see, not to mention Brian himself. And I actually saw some comments on his channel about, hey, what, no keg toss? And kind of my feedback or my opinion of that is I think Brian knows that he's too much better at the keg toss than anybody else. Like Thor was the only other guy that would dominate in that way in that event. So I think Brian wants to pick events where everybody has an equal shot. And I think, you know, not only because of his extreme height, but because he's just really good at keg toss, Brian knows, in my opinion, that he would dominate a keg toss. And for that reason, wouldn't put it in the event. The other really cool thing he's doing is, if you followed Brian Shaw's channel recently, he and his wife just bought a new mountain home in the Colorado mountains, and he has like this giant garage gym there. It's a separate structure from his home, and so he's changed this to become a 2-day event where one day will be at his primary home and the second day will be at the mountain home. So kind of like great competitors, great events, and dual locations. I think it'll be awesome. Like if he decides to charge a reasonable pay-per-view fee for this, I'll pay it in a second. Like I definitely am very excited for everything he's put together. So hopefully you've enjoyed this analysis of what Brian Shaw just released today as far as information and updates on the Shaw Classic, and I for one hope it continues as an annual event. I mean, this sounds like he's really putting his heart and soul into making it a wonderful event for all of the competitors and for the fans watching and for the fan who's going to win a trip for himself or herself and a +1 to go see it. So again, hope you enjoyed this analysis. Go check out Shaw Strength, Brian Shaw's channel, for more information. And until next time, as always, subscribe, hit the like button, share this, and I'll see you next time. Ciao, homie.